Good afternoon, the Midday News. I am Mariam Ahmad. President Bola Tinubu has lauded the Economic Community of West African States for fostering regional integration, represented by the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Mrs. Bianca Ojukwu, in Accra, Ghana, at the launch of a series of events to mark ECOWAS Golden Jubilee. The President said the regional body has remained true to the bold vision of its founding fathers and a beacon of hope for its over 400 million citizens. President Tinubu, who is the chairman of the ECOWAS authorities of heads of states and government, said the regional economic bloc celebrates numerous remarkable achievements that distinguish ECOWAS as the most successful regional economic community on the African continent. The president added that in 5 decades, ECOWAS has established one of Africa's most vibrant free trade areas, fostering intra-regional commerce and lifting millions from poverty, noting that the journey over the past 5 decades had not been without challenges. He urged ECOWAS member states to reimagine the organization as a community of people and not merely as a community of states, where the region must invest in education, innovation, and skills development to unleash the full potential of Africa's future. Tinubu called for deepening economic cooperation, support for intra-regional trade, and all ends to be on deck to ensure that the African Continental Free Trade Area becomes a vehicle for genuine transformation. Following the plethora of tariffs and counter-tariffs, the International Monetary Fund (IMF) has reviewed downwards its growth forecast for world's economy in 2025. The global lender pledged Nigeria's economic growth in 2025 at the 3%, lower than the 3.2% it announced in the October 2024 outlook, projecting that global economic growth will dip to 2.8% this year and 3% next year. According to the IMF, since the release on the January 2025 WEO update, a series of new tariff measures by the United States and countermeasures by its trading partners have been announced and implemented. Chief Economist and Director of Research Department at the IMF, Pierre Olivier, said the global economy is entering a new era as the global economic system that has operated for the last 80 years is being reset, while the drop in oil prices is coming mostly from weaker global demand. Gorichers added that there has been some increase in supply coming from OPEC plus countries, but the decline is mostly coming from weaker demand. Speaking during the release of the Financial Stability Report, Assistant Director, Monetary and Capital Markets Department, IMF, Jason Wu, asked Nigeria to be vigilant and ensure that the commodity prices drop does not negatively impact its revenue. Meanwhile, Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Olawale Edo, said Bretton Woods institutions stand ready to provide a safety net and development finance at this time of 18 global uncertainty. The Nigeria Customs Service has recorded a significant surge in revenue generation for the first quarter of this year, generating over 1 trillion naira. It noted the seizure of several illicit consignments, including arms, contraband goods, and narcotics, through enhanced surveillance and intelligence-driven operations. The Controller General of Customs, Adewale Adeniyi, disclosed this during a briefing in Abuja, where he gave a detailed breakdown of the agency's performance in revenue collection, anti-smuggling efforts, and trade facilitation for first quarter of the year. Adeniyi said customs quarterly benchmark of 1.645 trillion naira was surpassed by over 106 billion naira, achieving a 106.47% performance rate. The Comptroller General attributed the increase to reforms introduced under the administration of President Bola Tinubu and the supervision of the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Olawale Edun. Looking ahead, Adeleke said the service would intensify modernization efforts by expanding the B Odogu platform, integrating advanced risk management systems, and enhancing stakeholder experience. National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu has described the attacks and killings in Benue State as an act of evil, and good people must unite to confront it. Ribadu, who visited Benue State in company of Senate Committee Chairman of Intelligence and Security, Uba Umar, stated that what happened is a tragedy, adding that President Bola Tinubu is with them. He stated that the Tinubu government inherited a deeply troubled nation and was working diligently to repair the damage. The NSA said that it was in Benue State to commiserate with the governor and the people of the state over the loss of their people and to assure them that the country stands with them. He noted that Benue State is an extremely important state in Nigeria as the food basket of the nation, being the #1 in food production. Ribadu also noted that the armed forces and security agencies are doing their best, but such incidents persist because it is impossible to deploy personnel to every hamlet. Meanwhile, the governor of Benue State, Aisita Alia, has said that armed men who have been attacking Benue communities in the last 2 months are foreigners. According to him, 73 bodies were discovered in the latest round of attacks by the insurgents who swarmed Osun, Logo, and Katsina Ala local government areas. He explained that the attackers find their way into the communities in their hundreds on motorbikes armed with AK-47, AK-49 and machetes, revealing that apart from Osun, Logo and Katsina Ala local government areas, where 72 persons were killed by the invaders, in 3 other councils of Gwande, Guma, and Gwa West are now under a deadly siege. Governor Alia said the terrorists operated from cells in Nasarawa and the Nigeria-Cameroon border near Kwande local government area, exploiting porous borders. He said the latest attacks, which turned Good Friday into a Black Friday, saw villages in the Sankera Aziz surrounded at night. The governor noted that the motive of the Morandas as Lord grabbing, saying that they have occupied some local government areas in the last 15 years. Now from sports, Nigeria's Flying Eagles has recorded a 2-1 win over Egypt's Young Pharaohs in an international friendly at the Cairo International Stadium as both teams finalized preparations for this year's Africa Under-20 Cup of Nations. Report says forward Barobo Ere, who starred in Nigeria's successful Wafu B title defense last year, opened the scoring in the 10th minute after a well-weighted pass from Bidemi Amole, while the Young Pharaohs responded midway through the second half. Ahmed Kabaka, who capitalized on a rare lapse in Nigeria's defense to draw the host level in the 65th minute. However, Nigeria restored their lead in the 83rd minute when Precious Benjamin calmly converted a penalty following a foul on Divine Olise inside the box. The win serves as a confidence boost for the 7-time African champions, who arrived in Cairo less than 48 hours before the fixture and now turned their attention to the tournament proper, which begins on Sunday. And now from the foreign scene, Ghanaian President John Mahama has suspended the country's Supreme Court Chief Justice in a move that marks the first in the country's history. The Ghanaian government says an investigation has been launched and 3 undisclosed petitions have been filed marking allegations against Gertrude Tokono, calling for a permanent removal. Ms. Tokono is Ghana's third female Chief Justice and was nominated in 2023 by former President Nana Akufo-Addo. According to the Newsman, Ms. Tokono has survived a removal request earlier this year when former President Akufo-Addo said a petition to have her dismissed has had several deficiencies. Chief Justices in Ghana enjoy security of tenure, meaning they can only be removed from office on a few grounds, which include incompetence and misbehavior. Meanwhile, Ms. Tokono will be invited by the 5-member committee to respond again to the petitions before a final decision is reached as to whether she would be removed from office or not. The content of the petitions has not been made public and she is yet to comment. That ends the midday news on OSBC TV. Join us at 3 for the state news. Thanks for watching. Good afternoon.